Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Steve Malzberg Show. We're going to put up the cartoon again that we showed you a little earlier because now we're about to introduce the Cartoonist. And there it is. There's the cartoon in question that's causing the stir, or at least caused the stir at the Daily Costs, and caused a stir of a reaction by cartoonist Ted Rall, who joins us once again. Hello, Ted.
Hi, Steve. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Well, I've been busy.
I know.
A couple of days.
Well, when I read that that you were accused of being a racist by the Daily Cost because of an Obama cartoon, I said we got to get him on because this is just insanity carried way too far, and usually it's directed at the conservatives. So what'd you think when the Daily Costs, accused you of, well, what exactly did they accuse you of besides being a racist? I mean, did they specify? They talked about, what, the features on Obama's face or whatever?
Yeah, they accused me of drawing in a quote-unquote intolerable way, of drawing the president to look like a monkey. And in the vein of racist cartoons, from American history, from the 19th century, and so on. And the thing that's really baffling about this is I've been drawing Obama since '06, and I've been drawing him just the same way since '09. So it's been 4 years that these drawings have been in front of tens of millions of Americans. They've been online. They've been in 100 newspapers. They're not hidden from view. I do 5 cartoons a week. At least one features the president. So we're talking about hundreds of cartoons, possibly even maybe 1,000 cartoons that have the same exact image from different points of view. And if you look at my work, you'll see that I draw everyone the same. It's like if you think probably a lot of people have made the comparison between the way I draw and the Simpsons. And,
I was going to say,
yeah.
He looks like a black Homer Simpson.
Right, and it's like, and the thing is that like when I draw a white guy, they're no prettier. Yeah, if you look at the way I drew Bush, my God, it was much worse. It's Obama, if anything, gets a pretty light treatment as from an art standpoint. I don't make him look that ugly. I feel. And,
why? Why? Let me stop you. Why do you give him special treatment? Because he's black, or because he's a Democrat, or both?
It's funny. With Bush, it's more about the artistic process than politics. Honestly, is the short answer to your question.
Mm-hmm.
When I came in with Bush, I developed sort of this Generalissimo El Busho persona, and it started to not even look like him at all. It wasn't about looking like him. It was more the way that Doonesbury used to do. I think it was first President Bush or maybe Clinton as a waffle. So it was more of a symbol, more of a stand-in. With Obama, I wanted him to look more just like him. I never got around to figuring out sort of a character that he could be. I kept trying different things. I had like a Hello Kitty thing going on at one point to show that he was trading on appearances more than substance. But it was not really a political decision. I certainly haven't pulled my punches with him politically. I've been very, very hard on him. And I decided from day one that what would be racist for a political cartoonist to do would be to give the president special treatment because he's black. That would be racist.
Do you feel that members of the media are doing that?
Oh, I mean, look, this is a conservative show. You're a conservative host, and I know, and you have a conservative audience. But yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have to be honest here. There's no doubt from it's not a secret that most editors and producers are Democrats, and this president really gets away with a lot more than previous presidents, and I would say he gets away with more than Clinton did too. When Clinton really caught, during the Lewinsky scandal, he took all sorts of abuse. But I think the media is generally a little bit softer, maybe significantly softer on Democrats than Republicans. And this president in particular has really benefited from kid gloves all along. There's no question.
Because of his race.
I think that's part of it. I mean, certainly a lot of my peers have told me, fellow editorial cartoonists who are liberals, They either literally draw him like a white guy, like no shading or anything, no features that indicate that he's black, or they just don't. They try not to draw him at all because they're afraid of being the center of this kind of controversy.
Wow.
And it happens. Race is the third rail of American politics, and in editorial cartooning, which relies partly on caricature, you're going to get into it's difficult. Now, I decided early on that I was going to decide not to care. And look, I don't feel that I draw the president in an ape-like way. It's the last thing that's on my mind. It's never occurred to me to draw him that way. And when honestly, I think that most people who look at this stuff, it's in their head. It's not in mine. It never occurred to me. I mean, there was one little kerfluffle in 2011, 2 years into it, on a Democratic Party blog. I'm not even going to say a liberal blog, but a Democratic Party blog called Democratic Underground. And Daily Kos is really not a lefty blog. It is a Democratic Party blog. Its self-stated purpose is to elect more and better Democrats. It's not about progressivism. It's not about liberalism. It's not about socialism. It's about getting more Democrats elected.
And why do you think, though, and we're talking to Ted Rall, cartoonist here on the Steve Malzberg Show, who Daily Kos, who, by the way, I think you wrote on your blog that they don't pay you, so you really don't, you're not going to change your way, certainly not for hardly anybody, but certainly not for somebody who doesn't pay you. But why do you think, if this is how you've been drawing the president for so long, why do you think they came down on you or accuse you now?
Oh, it's because I only started posting to their blog recently.
Ah, okay.
They have a section where anybody can post, and I started I guess it was about 2 months ago. And from day one, everything I posted that was critical of the president, I got this huge amount of hatred. And they have this system where you can vote that you like or dislike something, and it gets hidden or censored if you don't like it. Well, most of the people there are Democrats. So anything that criticizes Democrats or Obama
goes away, like he just did.
I mean,
there you are. We lost you for a second. I thought we lost you for a second.
Oh, sorry, I'm right here. Yeah.
No, you said anybody who criticizes Obama, and then there was silence, and I said goes away, and then you didn't answer.
It's the NSA.
I don't know what it is. Yeah.
But no, it's like anyone who criticizes Democrats or Obama is just vanished. They're like a Soviet unperson, like in 1984.
Yeah.
They're just gone. The cut out of the photo from the top of the Kremlin, and that's totally what happened to me from the beginning. I had all sorts of negative votes. It's about the politics. I mean, if you look at the vast majority of people who came down on me, these are white Democrats, white guy Democrats who are just using this as an excuse. I mean, look, get ready, because in 2016, if Hillary is the nominee, it's just going to be sexism will be the new racism. That's the thing, and it's cheap. It's pretty poor tea. You know what I mean? It's real cheap. It's tacky. It's
that's exactly.
You don't have anything.
That's exactly what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you if you think that Hillary will find protection. I knew she would from the media in general. Like when she ran against Rick Lazio here in New York for the Senate, and they were on the debate. They were debating at a debate, and he walked over to her gave her a contract to sign, and all you heard afterwards, he invaded the space of a woman. Oh my God, he did this. He wouldn't do this to a man. So I know that if it's Hillary, they're gonna. If you dare criticize Hillary, you're anti-woman. Just like if you dare criticize Obama, you're anti-black. But I was just wondering. I was going to ask you if you thought that kind of gender thing would resonate as much in your profession, or as applied to you, as race does with Obama. And obviously the answer is yes.
I mean, yes. I mean, look, it's the thing is, nobody appreciates being accused of racism or sexism in the United States, but it's doubly worse when you're on the left, and it's triply worse when you're a lefty political cartoonist or commentator, because it means that you're going to be discredited with people who should be your fans, who should be buying your books. There are going to be lots of people who will walk into a bookstore when my next book comes out and say, "Oh, Ted Rall, that guy's a racist," or in 2016 they'll say sexist.
Right. All right. Well, let me ask you. All right.
Does this make you?
sympathize, empathize with conservatives who are branded that also simply for making a misstatement or saying something they regretted once, or just disagreeing with Obama and being branded a racist by the liberal media? I mean, do you now have a different perspective on them?
Well, I guess I do. I have to slice, those the people who've been victimized.
Sure. It's not a blanket statement, but yeah,
into different places. I mean, I think I've heard things that I think were racially offensive, and I've also heard things that absolutely were taken out of context and were unfair, and where it's just on the politics. I have, it's funny. I have several conservative friends who are also cartoonists, and they were telling me back in '08 that they were getting beaten up for criticizing Obama and and I was like, I didn't pay that much attention. First they came for your Republican cartoonist friends, then they came for you. So it's like that's kind of, it's certainly something that we are all as political cartoonists aware of, and we're all frankly a little bit afraid. And if you look at the collections of editorial cartoons over the last 4 or 5 years, look, I mean, people are too nice to Obama. They just are. I mean, this is not the job. The job isn't to be nice to the president. I don't care who he is. I mean, if the president does something nice or something good that you agree with, you shouldn't do a cartoon about it. You should just tell your spouse, hey, I like what the president did, and turn the page and then do something critical.
Right.
If you don't have, it's the opposite. I mean, editorial cartooning is like, if you don't have anything nice to say, come sit next to me.
Now, Ted, you remember the cartoons of Condoleezza Rice, a.k.a. Aunt Jemima, right?
Sure.
During her confirmation hearings? I don't think those were yours, right?
No, I didn't. I did do an anti-Condoleezza Rice cartoon and 2 anti-Colin Powell cartoons.
Oh, was that the one? That was the one with the bird on Bush's, with the.
That's my colleague, my friend.
All right. But so what? I mean, there was really no outrage then, and they were to me those were racist cartoons.
No, I mean they look. Me and several other people were accused of racism by conservatives for picking on Black Republicans in the Bush administration, and it's true that those accusations got no traction in the media, and I think it's because it was against Republicans,
right?
And now when it's against not only a Democrat but on top of that against Obama,
yep.
Of course it's just worse. But I mean, look, it's not going to change anything.
Let me know. Well, I got to go, but let me know if you get audited.
I will.
All right.
They'll be very bored. I have a very, very conservative Republican accountant.
Hey, Ted, good to talk to you. Thank you very much.
Take care.
Take care. Ted Rall, ladies and gentlemen. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's insane. And he's absolutely right that Hillary will be insulated in the same way, but by her gender. And if you dare to agree with her or attack her politically, it's because you can't stand the thought of a woman. That's how the left operates. Coming back, Steve Malzberg.